Hi guys and happy Wednesday. I am your favorite host, Priscilla Moy, and you are watching The Hot Seat live here in studio at Social Media Shows. Every Wednesday I come to you live. I will emphasize that because we are the only network that goes live in real time here in Las Vegas. And I come here and I introduce amazing locals and people from beyond in the city that do some amazing things and are here to inspire you guys to push for your dreams and to pursue everything that you want from life. So today we are not short of two amazing guests. I say this every week, but it always is going to surprise me and you guys at home who are watching this while you're having your lunch or you're just relaxing or you just are a big fan of the show, which I do have to say thank you for. We get a lot of viewers, we get a lot of comments, and we're growing slowly this network and this amazing show. So it's amazing to see it and watch it in real time. So when we come back for the break, we're going to introduce you guys to some new guests that have never before been on this network from my knowledge. And we are going to go and just find out everything about them like we normally do. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Grab your drinks, grab your food, grab your lunch, get comfy. And right after the break, we're going to jump into our first guest. So see you soon.
It's a tough market. We get it. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. But we have the solution. New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program allows your buyers to compete with all cash offers by becoming cash buyers themselves. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will purchase your buyer's new home with cash and sell it back to them for the original purchase price, plus a fee that can be added to the purchase of the home once they secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. The best part is that they don't need to sell their current home first. This is a true cash offer. Clients who use our Buyer Accepted program can secure financing using a conventional loan and even VA. Plus, there are no fees for agents and no sacrificing commissions. Buyer Accepted even offers a free 1-hour certification course that will make you the expert. You want to close more deals and help more clients? New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program is the answer.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Las Vegas, here we come!
I can't believe we're all moving to Vegas.
I know, right? It's a dream come true.
Wow, super creepy dude.
Mason, stop. I think he heard you.
What if someone walked up in the back of his semi?
She's gone. Someone took her. Who's that creepy trucker?
What are you doing?
They call me Mother trucker.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and we're going to jump right into our first guest. He is a filmmaker and has also been doing professional photography for the past 5 years. So everyone, please welcome Jonathan Ruggiero. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Welcome to the Hot Seat. It's your first time here, first time we're meeting, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Great. Well, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, and you?
That's great. That's great. Thank you. I've been well. So where exactly are you from originally?
Well, I'm originally from California, both Culver City, where I was born, but I'm also from the East Bay area as well.
Okay.
So I'm really a product of both ends of California. But I've been here in Vegas for the last 20 years.
Okay. Well, you read my mind because my next question was going to be, how long have you been here? And that's great. So primarily you are in media, you are in entertainment, and you are one of the filmmakers that we're having on the show. And I love having all these different filmmakers because all of you guys have something completely different. And you guys represent a lot of film here in Las Vegas. So how long have you been in the production, film, entertainment industry for?
Well, I've been in it professionally for almost a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing my first passion was video editing. I've been doing that since I was 19 years old.
Okay.
So that's a long time now, and I went to school for it a couple of times, and now I'm a freelancer.
Okay, great. So I'm sure that you've seen the software change a lot as time has gone on when you went to school, and trying to keep up with technology. Do you feel like you were able to keep up with how movies and films are being edited now and color graded?
I feel like it's a little easier now. I mean, sometimes you have to sit and take a moment to comprehend what it is that you need to study. But it has gotten easier with today's technology and the ability to learn that technology, such as YouTube lessons or classes at the community college.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely helped. It's definitely more accessible to autistic kids like me.
Okay. That's another fact that now I'm learning about you. So are you a big representation of, who you are, what you stand for, and what makes you different outside a majority of filmmakers out there?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go that far. But what do you mean exactly by representation?
So I think every person within entertainment, within being human, represents a different brand. Like as a model, as an actress myself, I would represent something different than if, our producer here were an actress, right? And so what do you feel is something special about you that you feel that you're contributing and you're representing within the film industry?
I just feel like I'm representing just what Jonathan Ruggiero can put out into the world, the kind of films that he wants to make. Mm-hmm. And wanting to bring some quality filmmaking to Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, that's great because I think a lot is happening with Las Vegas entertainment. You can agree with that.
Oh,
right?
yes.
It's growing a lot. And what do you see in the future in hopes of filmmaking?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was hoping we would have passed that big boost to the tax credits, but it didn't happen this legislative session. Hopefully sometime soon after we stop being scared of it. But my hopes in the meantime is that it continues to grow out here and we don't rely on just one singular person to do it, but I would love for it to be an independent collective. Not exactly try to be like the next Hollywood, but just be like a bastion for independent filmmaking. That's what I would love to see. Mm-hmm. Because I really feel like there's a lot of talent here in the Las Vegas Valley that is just waiting to be discovered. And of course, there's people moving here too, like moving from California or Texas and whatnot. And I feel like there's so much talent that's waiting to be discovered.
Right.
And Vegas needs that talent badly, if you ask me.
Yeah. And do you also feel that they exist here, but Vegas isn't given the chance to shine because there is a stigma on what type of people are here?
In a way, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, I feel like there is a bit of a stigma, especially since our tax credit, and I don't know all the details, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but our tax credit isn't nearly as big as, say, New Mexico or North Carolina or Georgia, which puts off a lot of companies wanting to come here. But I think there's still maybe a certain stigma because of what we've seen come out of the Valley so far, outside of your typical Hollywood production that's shooting on the Strip.
Mm-hmm. Which they do a lot. You know, it's always a stereotypical storyline, right? People traveling out here to gamble and drink, to party.
Yeah. It's like, how many sequels have we had filmed here?
Right. So where did you go to school to study?
Well, first I went to the Art Institute of Las Vegas, now closed. It was one of those for-profit scam colleges, but I did learn a few things there. And I ended up graduating there with a bachelor's degree. But the real education I've gotten in the last couple of years is from the College of Southern Nevada, specifically North Las Vegas campus. They have a great film program there. And that's where I was able to make my my 2 recent short films as well as my mini documentary as well. They keep up with the equipment. They have wonderful teachers there.
Mm-hmm. And how would you say to somebody that wants to get into film editing, production, why would it be important to get training at a school versus people that believe it could be self-taught? Do you have a...
It really depends on who you are. For me, it's like I need that in-person experience. I need to be able to work with others. It's one thing for me to like learn about online, and you can learn a lot online, don't get me wrong. But for me personally, you need that in-person experience.
Mm-hmm. So you've been doing photography for 5 years, and when people research photography, you emphasize a lot on empowerment photography.
That's right.
Correct. That's kind of what you market yourself as. So tell us a story about how you geared towards that and what that means to you.
I just want people to feel amazing and cliche to say empowered when they see the photo I've taken of them. And I don't limit myself to one thing. Like I've done boudoir, burlesque, cosplay, typical headshots, live shows, among other things. And I want them to just feel good. I want them to feel invigorated that, oh my God, I haven't looked this amazing in years. What
drew you to photography? Because, you know, you started with video, you started with a lot of film. Was it just natural to you that you wanted to pick up camera and just do stills?
At first, my mindset was, when I was a young kid, my mindset was like, just video editing. I had no interest in anything else. So the other stuff came rather reluctantly towards me, but as I got more into the industry and I was trying to look for ways to stay sane because I couldn't get gigs often, like whether it was as background actor or as a production assistant, I felt like, okay, I might as well learn photography. It'll help me on my camera work as well, and it definitely has. I feel like my skills have improved so vastly these last few years.
And that's good, because you should always be improving, right? Every job that you do, you should always.
Oh, yes. If I don't improve on something, I feel like I failed somehow.
And you travel for photography too, right? I did see that a little bit, that you go to places, you go events, and you take photos of performers, right?
That's right. I've traveled to LA.
And what has been your favorite, let me say, events? Because like, if someone were to go to your photography, they will see that you perform a lot of live performances, from what my view is. Was there a favorite one of yours that you have done?
All the photos I've done for Rocky Horror.
Okay.
I'm part of the local Rocky Horror Picture Show cast here in town, and I've been doing it for nearly 20 years. And it was actually, and Rocky was actually one of my gateways into film, because I would be so interested in learning about all the technical aspects of the movie and why the DVD sounded different than a 35 millimeter print. So it's only fitting that I feel like I could develop my skills through photographing some of our shows, because we do it monthly. And that has been absolutely wonderful. There's also this aerial dancer out in California, out in the LA area, named Lisa Marie Burnside, and she's one of the sweetest people who ever lived, and photographing her is a thrilling experience every time, no matter what the concept is.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm glad that you're finding your way through photography, not only, video editing. Now, you have won a couple awards for some of your short films. You've also done a documentary. We also had those guests on here at one point on my show, Bonez N Gabby. They are a burlesque duo, and they perform and all that jazz. So what was the difference like for you to do short films that are, written as a script versus a documentary? What was that like for you?
Well, the first difference is that with a mini documentary, you have a lot less crew you have to worry about. With me, I handled the camera and getting the sound. Not recommended in some cases, but though it worked out fine in my case. And I hired somebody to edit the film for me because I was busy editing my other short film at the same time. With doing short films, it's like obviously you need to have crew for every major position there is, and also cast it properly. So a lot more prep work goes into that. With mini documentaries, there's obviously a lot of prep work, but it feels more simplified, if you get what I mean.
What is your genre? I think a lot of filmmakers have something they lean more towards. There's also filmmakers that want to test them all, but I
don't have a
specific... You don't have a specific one?
No, not at the moment. I'm ready, willing, and able to try just about every genre there is.
And you write your own scripts?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Amazing. So what is do you have a common theme that you love to talk about? Now, genres are one thing, but there are also messages, right, that a lot of filmmakers like to portray. Do you have one specifically?
There hasn't been one so far, honestly. I know some have their own styles or their own themes, but I don't feel like I've approached it yet.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll come naturally over time, but I don't feel like I'm there yet.
Do you always feel like you're writing? Like, are you writing something right now? Are you always in a process of gathering ideas?
When I can think of something. Part of the problem is translating an idea from your brain to typing it out. Right. And that is like the biggest hurdle sometimes. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, because it's writing is one thing, and then writing a novel is one thing, and then writing a film script is also another. Different types of writing are difficulties.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So what is your goal? Like, what are you looking forward to achieving, let's just say, the next 10 years? What would you have liked to already have under your belt, or where do you want to be?
Well, I want to get some more shorts done in the immediate future, and then branch out into features when I feel like I'm ready to handle it. And I want to become one of the top filmmakers to come out of Las Vegas. I really feel like I want to represent this town in a way of quality and professionalism. And as for my photography, I want to be one of the best to come out of Las Vegas as well, with the same attributes.
Yeah. What do you believe is the biggest hurdle for you, like in your journey? Because all of us have a different one. Obviously, we all have different difficulties we face daily.
Myself.
Okay. And why is that?
I know this is rather frank, but I struggle with confidence issues a lot of the time because Because I'm an artist, and a lot of artists go through that. Like, a lot of us go through imposter syndrome, where we feel like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Mm-hmm. But you have to like remind yourself that there's a lot of people out there who have seen your work and greatly admire it, and you have to remember that. And you just have to remember to just get out of your own way. Sometimes just write. Just write the damn thing.
So being very confident in your own talent is what you feel that you're trying to make sure
yes.
you maintain, right?
Yeah, just trust your stuff, and and the rest will flow naturally. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that there's a misconception about you and your work? Like, is there something that you would like people to really know that is genuine about you, your story, and what you're trying to achieve that maybe people don't really understand?
If there is, I've yet to hear about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. Well, now there's one more question that I do want to ask. I ask all of my guests this question, and you could take your time with it, but it kind of sums up you as a whole. But is there a motto or a philosophy that you live by?
Don't dream it, be it.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Ruggiero Picture Show.
Of course.
And that show's been very good to me for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. So just be it.
Mm-hmm. And what would that statement mean to you?
It's again, get out of your own way. Just stop dreaming it and just make it happen.
Make it happen, basically. And I feel like I know you can probably agree with me, but I think a lot of people struggle with that one thing, that one action, right? Because a lot of people hesitate. They're like, okay, I want to do it, but they don't know where to start, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those things where if you just make those little tiny steps, you're already doing it, right? And I'm sure that you can relate in your own way, right? You've been doing this for a long time. You've been training for a long time, over a decade, that you just take it day by day, right? Is kind of what I'm getting from the story.
And you're gonna have your good days and you're gonna have your bad days.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Well, right now, is there anything that you're currently working on that you want to promote that people can go watch, whether it's a short film that's premiered, etc.?
Well, I have my 2 short films. The first one is Happy Hour. It won a couple of awards last year. And my second one is Corey Rocks Vegas. They are both available on my YouTube channel and as well as my website.
Okay.
And for my mini documentary, you can find the one on Bonez N Gabby at the same place, my website or my YouTube channel.
And what are those?
JR Media Prod, JRMediaProd.com. And you can find JR Media Productions on my YouTube as a channel. And if you want to take a look at my photography work as well, it is also on the website, as well as my Instagram, JR Media Prod. That is JR Media PROD.
Perfect. And you're also an actor as well, right? Or
I've done background acting, and I perform in the Ruggiero Picture Show Shadowcast.
Okay. I asked because maybe if someone were to inquire, I don't know if you're open to that.
Oh, I'm certainly open to it.
Okay.
It depends on what it is.
Okay. Perfect. Well, like he said, go ahead and visit all of his websites, his YouTube channel, his social media, and I'm sure you will accept any DMs on your Instagram as well. If anyone would have any inquiries or questions, also, like maybe you can't find something or you want to ask him something personally about a certain film, you can always do that on his social media. So thank you, Jonathan, for being a great guest today. I hope you enjoyed your time on the hot seat.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you. Now, when we come back, we are going to go towards another realm of performance art here in Las Vegas, so don't go anywhere.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hit it.
Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star is an epic sci-fi adventure.
Do what needs to be done.
An edge-of-your-seat wild ride.
We have company.
Tons of popcorn-munching fun. 5 stars. A love letter to the sci-fi films of the 70s and 80s. With plenty of action and fun for all. You need to see it. You really do.
The captain just decided it's time to go.
I am ready for a sequel. Experience a bold new adventure. Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star.
A good old-fashioned adventure.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I am your host Priscilla Moy, and we are live in studio here at Social Media Shows. Our next performer is absolutely amazing and very, very, very talented and extremely beautiful. She is a dancer, a performer, and she also was on America's Got Talent. So I can't wait to introduce you guys to her and hear her story. So everyone, please welcome Michelle Olson. Hi, thank you so much for coming. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Having me.
Have a seat. Love the nails, love the
Thank
hair,
you.
the whole thing.
Thank you.
So you have an impressive resume.
Thank
you.
you.
know,
I
you literally
appreciate it.
sent your whole resume, and I loved it because that's kind of how mine is formatted. Is I can tell you are more on the theater side, performance stage side, and you're from LA, right? And you
Yes.
trained at UCLA.
Yes, I did train at UCLA. Yeah, I went to college at UCLA. I double majored in dance and anthropology. So I went in with the dance major, and then I was like, you know what? I want to add something else.
Yeah.
So a lot of dance majors actually do a double. So I decided to add anthro as my second one, and I absolutely loved the program. I'm such a true brew and pride person, but I absolutely love UCLA, and I love the training that I got too, and I was able to make some connections too that kind of led me into post-grad work and things like that.
And that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Because once you graduate, you're kind of thrown
It's
into
like,
the
what
world,
do?
like, now what?
Yeah.
You know? So how long have you been dancing for?
I started when I was 3.
Okay.
And I did the whole studio route, so 3 to 18, and I did the traditional jazz, ballet, tap, modern hip hop, all the things. And then from there, just went to UCLA, so my training was just primarily through the program there. After graduating, I still took class a little bit. I joined a dance company, and I was teaching a lot and just working in LA. And in 2020 is when I moved here to pursue further career in arts and entertainment.
So you went to school for dance. I also have a minor in dance as well.
Yeah.
So I can connect. It's very rigorous, right? Your whole life is just basically you're an athlete.
Yeah.
So what was your goal normally to continue training and get that college degree in it? Do you have a dream of maybe doing, perform with artists? Did you want to do your own dance company? What was really your goal that you had?
My goal growing up was definitely UCLA was my goal for the longest time because a bunch of my dance teachers, they are UCLA alumni and they did the whole dance program, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And then as I was at UCLA, I was definitely looking to see kind of where I felt like my strengths and skills fell, whether it was commercial dance, more concert dance, and I felt like I was kind of in the middle, neither. So I was really thankful to kind of find a dance company where I was able to join and feel like I was creating my own lane a little bit under really, really great guidance. And it was kind of in between. I felt like we just did very unique things. So it wasn't necessarily commercial, which I still love. I still think that's awesome. And it wasn't necessarily concert dance, which I also love. So it was a great kind of happy medium for me. So I'm really happy that I found that. Yeah.
And so what was your first big job post-grad that you were like, oh my gosh, this is it?
Post-grad. I was super, super lucky. I actually was able to perform at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Orlando for a span of 3 months. And we did like 5 shows a night, 4 to 5 shows a night, and the seats were like filled like every single night with new people, and also like recurring visitors to the park too, because it's such a culture. I feel like the HHN like culture, it's super big out in Florida especially. So we would have people that would go like every single day to the park, and they would just sit in the audience and see all 5 shows, and that's what they would do like the whole night. So yeah, that was like I'm so grateful for that experience. It was like life-changing. And our final show, like we had all the people cheering in the audience, and we were just like bawling on stage, and people have like signs up, and we all had our own sort of like character names too that we were in the show. And people would like make drawings and like art pieces and give them to us as gifts and things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like I've never experienced anything like that before.
To feel the support from audience members really kind of gives you adrenaline, right? And you kind of feel like, oh my God, they actually enjoy what we're doing. Yeah. You know, it's rehearsed, you do the same show, and you're like, all right, like to us it's the same thing, but to actually see people like literally you're taking it in, kind of gives you this like, wait, this is why I like what I do.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, like you never know who's in the audience, and you never know whose parts you're gonna touch, you know? And as you were saying, like, it's the same show, we're doing the same choreo, but to them, they're seeing it for the first time, maybe, or they've seen it for the 20th time, but there's something that, you know, hopefully that we're doing that can inspire them. And that's kind of like my goal as an artist, as a performer, is just if I can inspire somebody, then that's really like all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Now you were also on America's Got Talent. Was it season 13?
I think so. Yeah, it was.
And you're with a dance troupe. Forgive me if I got it wrong. It's Academy of Villains, something like that. Okay, great. So what was that like? What was that journey like?
Yeah, I think that was my first TV experience. I believe so. It was super cool. It was really cool to see kind of like the behind the scenes of everything, and just like the whole process, because I've always been super also intrigued by behind the scenes work too, and just like how things, you know, go. And obviously I've seen the show before, so it was a super cool experience. And we got to do some interviews behind the scenes, and then we performed. I forget if it was like once or twice. I forget. It was I feel like it was so long that I can't remember. But it was super cool. It's definitely different to be on stage knowing that, you know, the whole world is going to see you. Right. But it was a super cool experience. So another thing that I'm super grateful for.
Judging panel.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like, if that's not already nervous, you got like 20 cameras right here, and you know, that's amazing, though.
Thank you.
It's a good thing to say, like, hey, I did it. I know that experience.
Yeah, I did it. I had that experience. Right. Yeah, super cool.
Right. Yeah. So with Vegas, I know like we're big on live entertainment. Is that something that drew you here, or was there something else that drew you to Vegas? That really made
it was. So my directors actually had moved here in 2019, and my goal was kind of to eventually make my way out here, maybe in like 5 to 7 year span. COVID happened, and then a bunch of things just kind of got turned around. Right. So I decided to make the move to Vegas, and they are working underneath an entertainment production company called Ghostlight Odyssey, and I'm super lucky to have been brought on board with that as well. And the company is great. They started in like 2020, basically like a COVID business. So a new entertainment production company here in Vegas, and we combine like basically everything you can name it. So it's like circus, dance, comedy, crowd interaction, just like literally anything that you've seen in a live show in one. And our goal is to get a residency on the Strip. So that's what we're working towards now, to kind of just find a new edge on the Strip and give people a little bit of a different energy.
Yeah, kind of combining all the things they've already seen, but like in a troupe where everyone is doing something new to those different things.
Yes.
Because that's my next question is, if you ever performed in a residency or part of a cast that has some sort of residency on the Strip, but that explains it. Yeah.
In the future, yes.
Yes, you will. Like,
I'm going to manifest it right now.
It already is. It's already happening. Because you also, when people visit your social media, you know, you have a lot of dance companies listed. Do you teach there? Do you just take class there? Are you part of a dance company within those dance community? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So back in LA, I was teaching at a bunch of different, just like schools and studios. Yeah. That's also what I've been doing here. And I've also been doing some like Zoom classes too. Right. For people who we started in COVID when people, you know, couldn't leave their homes. Yeah. So we started a program. It's also called the Virtual Movement Academy, where basically anybody around the world who wants to train with us, they can kind of join via Zoom and then get really, really good training in the comfort of their own home. Yeah. So that's another avenue of teaching that I'm still doing now.
Because I feel like it's very nerve-wracking, and I can only imagine. Because like when you're training in school and you have the same people you train with, you lose the nervousness of trying to, you know, not look like the weakest link, right? So I feel like a lot of people, especially if they're new, whatever level they are, it's very intimidating to walk into a dance studio and there's all these people, and a lot of them are like, I've been doing ballet since I was like 2, and like I'm a prima ballerina, and then you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, you know? I feel like that makes them a little more comfortable and could be more susceptible to hearing and learning what you're trying to teach. Right?
It's a more relaxed learning environment, and I think it opens doors for more people to find dance a little bit more appealing. Rather than, you know, maybe stepping into a studio and feeling like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. No one wants to feel, you know, uncomfortable or nervous in that way. So, I'm really glad that Zoom has become such a platform, not just for dance, but for so many people to be able to meet online and still do all the things that they want to do.
They don't have to fly across the world to meet someone. You can literally do it that way.
Just over Zoom.
Now, you also are a yogi, and you also have experience with pole dancing, right?
Yes.
Like, which is a sport. Like, I don't mean it like that, but like it's very impressive.
Thank you.
A lot of, you know, pole dancers that like, it's incredible what they do, right? Like the strength is like, that takes it to a whole new level. How long have you been doing all this? Was that kind of combined into your dance training as well, or?
A little bit. So for my yoga training, it was always something that really intrigued me. I started yoga probably in high school because I want to get more flexible, because I was never the most like flexible dancer. I was like, some of my dance friends are trying this out, so I was like, okay, let me try it. So I used to go to power yoga in Santa Monica like all the time during high school, and that was my first like introduction. And then from there I was like, I just want to get my teacher training. So I did a 200-hour program and a 300-hour program back in LA. So I'm 500 hours certified for yoga, and now I'm also teaching at Yoga 6 Mountain's Edge. It's like southwest corner of Vegas. So I did another training through their program to be certified to teach their formats. And it's always been something that I really enjoyed. It was a nice way to cross-train, I feel like, with dance and stretching in a parallel way, which is, you don't usually do that in dance. So I love it. Yoga has changed my life, and I take a lot of what I've learned from my training and kind of implement it in dance or just in my daily life in regards to like the meditative aspect, like always being conscious of your breath and knowing like, you know, in stressful situations, how do you react to that? Do you freak out? Do you panic? Do you make things worse? Or do you breathe? Do you stay focused? Do you find solutions? Things like that. So that's yoga for me. For pole, is just something that I've also wanted to do, so I just kind of took it on as a hobby. I just do it for fun, but I go to Pole Fitness Studio here, and I usually take Jenny's class and Brenda's class, for anyone watching. But it's super fun. It is. I totally have more respect for those, you know, professional pole dancers, pole artists, after doing it, because it's so hard, but it's addicting because every time I go, I'm like, I feel like I'm getting a little bit stronger. Like every class, I'm like, okay, I do something a little bit better, and that's my goal. But when I first started, like, I was so bruised. Like, I didn't even realize that that's even a thing. But and then my teacher was like, your nerve endings they'll start to go like numb or something like that, so that you actually won't be in as much pain anymore. And I was like, well, that's crazy, but the body adjusts super fast.
It's also your athleticism too, right? And that you have this in your mindset where like you don't stop just because you can't do it. And you're like, I want to push your body a little bit more, because as a dancer doing all those different styles of dance, you need to have a different set of skills. Like tap and ballet are like complete opposites. You know, So for you, I feel like you already have that mindset where you're like, okay, I'm not just going to give up in one class. Like, I know I'm an athlete. What do you mean? Like, there's something, I got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that, fantastic. I've always wanted to try it, but I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
you should.
That requires a new sort of strength.
It's tough, for sure. But it is addicting.
Yeah, but it's fulfilling, I'm sure. When you can do something, you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I did that though.
Yeah,
right?
and I look at past footage, like I made it a point to film like my first class ever, and I could barely do anything. And now looking back, I'm like, whoa, like it's crazy. The body like adapts with consistency, like because my hands used to sweat so much too, and I was like, I can't even stay up here for like
you're just
more than 15 seconds. But now I don't have to use like the grip as much, and I can do more tricks for longer. So. Yeah, it's crazy.
You can add it to your residency.
Yeah. Just throw it in there, just like a little feature. Yeah.
So I know a big thing with a lot of dancers and performers is they like to sign with agencies. Like the block agency is a big one, NTA with dancers. Have you ever had experience with agencies?
I actually interned for an agency, so but I never had auditioned for one because I was able to join the dance company back in LA pretty quickly. Or actually I ended up going there when I was still in college. So by the time I graduated, I was pretty invested in that. So I didn't necessarily feel the need to audition for an agency at the time. It was definitely something that I wanted to do growing up because I heard through the grapevine that's like the way to go.
That's the way,
which is totally awesome. I have nothing against that. I was fortunate enough to kind of find a space where my directors kind of played that agency role a little bit, which was super awesome because that's kind of like unheard of. So they were able to, send their dancers out on specific jobs. And I just ended up doing all that and just didn't get around to auditioning for
because your journey is a little different.
Yeah,
my question to you, because everyone has a different thought when it comes to agencies and how it works for them. So you can kind of answer my question and how you think that your experiences with agencies and whether there be nepotism, there be, whether certain jobs you feel like have been withheld. Have you ever had a certain struggle that you yourself were like trying to always defeat when you're trying to work and be seen as a professional?
I would say, honestly, I feel like my biggest challenges were just the ones that I put on myself because I always would, whether it's taking class or at an audition, like I would always look at who's the best in the room. How can I be better than them? Or what do I have to do that? And I've always been super hard on myself. So I think honestly overcoming those mental blocks was really like the biggest challenge for me, which everyone has them, and occasionally here and there I still have to work through that too. But that I would say honestly would be the biggest challenge for me. In the past, working through the mental blocks and not getting so in your head with things, because sometimes it's easy to do that, especially in a competitive world or at an audition. It's like, oh, I don't look like that. Is that what what they're looking for and things like that, and then it just spirals. So just the mental game. I think dance is like 70% mental, 30% physical.
I mean, that goes for all arts. It's always a visual too. Like sometimes when you walk in a room, they don't even see anything else. They already have in the mind of what they want. Do you think dance has become more inclusive when it comes to people that they choose and cast, etc.? Because I know dance has its own stigma of visually what is the perfect dancer, especially when it comes to ballet, when it comes to body type, the perfect turnout, all that stuff.
For sure.
How do you think it's been molding?
I think it's a lot more inclusive now. Even like just videos that I'm seeing of people being booked for different tours, like even like my friends from, college being booked for tours and things like that. I do feel that I'm seeing a more diverse cast for whether it's shows or tours or just any kind of performance, TV, things like that. So I do think it has become more inclusive, which is awesome. I think that's great. And I think dance is also being put a little bit more at the forefront. Whereas before it's always been like, okay, artist and then the dancers are back here. But I think because of so much dance that's been seen on TV within the past maybe like 10 years, I think dance people want to see it a little bit more, which is cool. Because
you notice now when there's performances, like
it's almost always
like there's always art, but then there's like they're surrounded. They make the scene. They make the stage. They, you know, without them, you can see it's empty. It would just be like one person. So now that you're kind of new to Vegas and, you know, you're starting this residency, what mark are you trying to leave in the performance industry here?
So our goal as a company is to bring something entirely new to the Strip, and something that is also super unique is that within our company, we kind of pull the best people in their fields. We kind of like scout and see, okay, who can we bring on board? And I think something that's super, super unique is that our artistic directors and our creative team, they create original acts for soloists that we bring on board. Whereas for other companies, and again, no disrespect to any of that, but usually you're filling someone else's role. You know, if it's a show that was created 20 years ago, they have, you know, a set number of casts. When this person leaves, they put in someone else to fill in and learn their role, which is totally fine. That's usually how it goes 99% of the time. What's super great about our company is that our creative team is so creative that they create, original acts. So, for example, one of our soloists, he calls himself a pyromancer, I believe is the correct term, but basically he blows fire. Yeah. So our artistic director, he created an original act where he has this like candelabra, and as he's doing all these fire tricks, he basically starts to light each candle. Wow. Yeah, so at the end of the act, like, everything is lit, and it's super, super pretty. So things like that have never really been seen before, and he caters it specifically to that person. Yeah. So they enjoy it more, and they're more invested because they feel like it's them. It's theirs. Yeah, and it also belongs to them. He can't be replaced. Yeah. Because even if someone else that did a lot of, you know, stuff with fire were to come in, the show would change. Like, it would be a different dynamic. Yeah.
And I love that, because I feel like this kind of is the legacy you're trying to build, right? You want to be seen as a unique artist. I think a lot of performers that come here go into shows that have already been a thing for decades, right? And they're just one of many people instead of being seen as an individual. Yeah. Right? And I think that you value your individuality a lot. Yeah, and I think our directors and our creative team and just the company in general, it's always about highlighting the individual. How can we make them look as best as they can, and highlight what they're good at and what they like, and things like that. Yeah. So my final question to you is what you probably heard when you're sitting out there. I ask this of all of my guests. And is there a philosophy that you live by?
Philosophy that I live by? I have a few. I would say one would be always do better than you were yesterday. Always learn from your mistakes. Every person you meet is a teacher to you, whether you like them or not. There's always something to learn from them, and every day I aim to do better than I did yesterday, whether it's from a more creative aspect, whether it's just my interactions with people, whether it's how I manage my time. Like, how can I always make myself better? And if you do that every single day, eventually, things will accumulate, and there will be, steady growth. So I think that's something that I always have in the back of my mind when I wake up. Like, okay, how can I be better today than I was yesterday?
That's amazing, because I feel like that's you in your whole story.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My favorite thing about asking that question is the answer really just sums up everything that everyone always says about their whole thing, right? Because you even mentioned it before when it comes to something like pole. Like, you're like, okay, next class, I'm going to do better, right? And you love seeing that and kind of being self-aware of watching your own progress. Even if, you've been dancing for so long, even if today you did the choreo better than yesterday, you're like, oh my God, yes. Like, you have some sort of pride in what you do, which a lot of people don't, and they want to have, because it's, it's in confidence, and like, they're scared of how people view their talent, etc. So I'm glad that you have all this already. Thank you. I think it's the training at school, the performance training in school. It really sets you up to be prepared 24/7. So where can people find you? Where can they find your company? What are the handles?
So our website is ghostlightodyssey.com. Our Instagram is @ghostlightodyssey. Our TikTok is also @ghostlightodyssey, and we have 3 accounts. So follow all of them if you can. For my personal information, my Instagram is Michelle N. Olson. I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a personal TikTok. But you can find me on Instagram.
Instagram's always, that's my favorite one. TikTok I I try. It's just not my
Yeah,
thing.
it's a lot.
You know, it's a lot, and it's different niche, and it's
totally.
Yeah. Well, amazing. We want to stay updated with you, and if you guys get your residency, your performances, we love to promote on here.
Thank you
so
so
we'd
much.
love to have you back. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
Maria would as well, and we can, maybe one day have you perform something here. That would be absolutely amazing. You can bring some of your company in. I think that would be a great time to solely focus on the company when it comes to what you guys are really trying to put out and what the progress is and things like that. So
thank you so much.
Please reach out to her if you have any inquiries, questions, if you want to maybe, I don't know if you guys hold auditions for your company, because they do scout, so hint, if you do, this does sound appealing to you, this is on your realm, please reach out to Michelle and I'm sure she will give you all the deets on that. But thank you so much for coming. We love your energy here. When we come back, we're not done talking, so I'll see you after the break.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. If you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Hi guys, and welcome back to The Hot Seat. I am your host, Priscilla Moy. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. 2 different energies, 2 different people with their own goals and what they want to contribute here in Las Vegas. One that's been here for a long time and one that recently just moved here in the heat of COVID, but they're both on their own journeys, doing their own thing, and they all want to have their own legacy. This is always a message that I want to push out to the viewers at home and to all the dreamers out there, that even if you guys don't do what they do specifically, everyone has their own dream, their own struggles, and their own journey that they're trying to achieve and succeed in, and it's going to differ between every single person. So I hope that when you hear these stories and you listen to these people and how they answer these questions and how they hold themselves, it kind of shows you that they're no different from you or I or anyone here in the studio. We're all doing our own thing. We're here working, we're here grinding, and we're all doing something better each day. If anything that they're doing here should resonate with you, and it's just to make that first step. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to stress to you guys, is that once you make that first step, it's just going to catapult you into everywhere that you want to be and everything that you want to do. So as always, we are here at Social Media Shows. We have a bunch of shows on the network. The Hot Seat is just one of them, but we are always open for sponsorships. So if you guys are interested in promoting your business, your movie, your whatever it is that you want to promote, you can always email admin@socialmediashows.com, and you can talk about sponsorships, how to get involved with that, what that really means, what the details are, all of that. You can talk to production one-on-one, and we can make that happen for you. And if there also is a show that you're interested in being on, you can email that same email address, admin@socialmediashows.com, and then they will also work out with you with time, dates, booking, which show, etc. And another thing that I want to pinpoint, if you guys have any show ideas, let's say you guys always wanted to be a host, there's something that you want to bring new to the network or talk about here in Las Vegas, you can also email that same address and discuss it with production, and they can talk about the possibilities of maybe you hosting your own show. We love hearing new things. We love meeting new creatives. We love expanding. So make sure you're sharing, you're liking, you're telling everyone about which show is your favorite here, and I hope it's one of mine. But really, I appreciate the support. We see your comments, we see the views, we see, things that you guys are liking, and we just really hope that we grow from here. So, with that being said, I will end today's episode with all of that information and that message, and a big thank you to you guys, and I will see you guys next week here on the hot seat.